Okay, welcome everyone to the Water and Sewer Utility Committee meeting today for Thursday, May 19th. I'll call the meeting to order. Any declarations of conflict of interest?
None.
None. Okay, approval of the agenda.
Good.
Okay, adoption of the minutes from Thursday, April 14th.
Good.
Anybody want to second them? Councilor
Councilor
McCabe?
McCabe.
Okay. Now, any new business? We'll go into new business, I guess. There's no business arising from the minutes, so
Sir.
go into new business. You can take it over there, Richard.
So there's a backhoe tender that closed since our last meeting. So the utility does have its own backhoe, but there are times when we have two sites where we need to do work. And in that case, then we contract another backhoe to come in and help us. And we put out a request for that. Public Works also issues a request at that same time. So we get responses back for both the utility and Public Works. And the low bid came from Lee McDonald, and I would recommend that we go with that low bid.
Sure. Anybody have any questions about that?
Good.
Good. All right. You have to have a vote for that, Richard?
Yeah, we should have a vote to take that, and then I take it to finance, and then you'll see a resolution at the next meeting of council.
Moved.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Councilor Twill, Councilor McCabe. Okay, let's go to the grass cutting tender.
So the grass cutting tender, again, we issued a request for bids. We only received one bid for our grass cutting. It is DNS Grass Cutting, and they have done the work for us in the past. And again, I would recommend that we go with their submission.
I'll move it.
Okay. And we have a second.
Yeah, I'll second.
There we go. Okay. So what are we down to, the pre-authorized payment switch?
Yes, so our finance staff has brought it to my attention that historically we have kept a list of, there are some customers who ask us to do pre-authorized payments for them. So we have an Excel spreadsheet with their payment information that we keep, and they call us and we track that, and then we take care of those payments. But with our new system, they could go online and take care of that themselves, and it would then provide them with more protection and us with more protection. There's concern that us having that information in an Excel spreadsheet, that if ever our system was compromised by a hacker, that information could get out, and it's better for us to have that taken care of by a third party that has much more protection on that data for our customers. So this is kind of a note to you and looking for your support that we would reach out to all of those customers probably this summer and help them to transition to our new system where they can take care of that all online.
I think that'd be a good idea. Anybody have any concerns or comments?
Good. Good.
Councilor Twill?
Oh, no, it's fine.
Councilor McCabe? Okay, I guess we're good with that. Richard, I guess I should have brought something up in new business. I just have a question before we go into closed session. And it has to do with building permits and things. Can I?
Yes.
Okay, so I myself applied for a building permit, and it takes a lot of time. So, a month, 6 weeks, 2 months, whatever it takes. The appropriate people have to come out and look at it, and it's got to go through different departments, and then you get your building permit. So, I'm all excited and that, and then start the process, and then it comes time to hook up water, and then I said, well, when can we get that hooked up? Well, it's going to take a little bit of time. We're busy. It's going to, someone's got to come out and look at your plans, got to go through all this. It's another delay for another month or 6 weeks, 8 weeks. So what I'm trying to do is if you apply for a building permit and you're going to need water, why isn't it both, when you put it into planning, why isn't water and sewer why isn't it given to them as well so it'd save time and effort? Because someone like me, I didn't know much about it, so I'm just thinking anybody else that goes ahead and tries to do the same thing, instead of a delay, once you apply for a building permit, shouldn't this be triggered into water and sewer as well? Is there
Yeah,
any
no, it's a
way?
good point. Planning is working on a better system to monitor that, and then we'll try to streamline with them. And it is a very good point that we need to work on streamlining the whole process through the building permitting and for our subdivision process. And it is something that we are working on and working with planning to get better at. And planning is working on, again, an electronic system that will help to modernize our system. There are those who come to see us maybe even a little early. We do like to see that there is a building permit in place. Certainly, if there was a new spot or something like that before we would put water and sewer in, we want to make sure that the building permit is going to be approved before we go and incur another cost with putting water and sewer services to the property. And I'm hopeful that with your property, the services were already there. There was or maybe you're telling me that it's a property where we need to put services. And again, sometimes it's a catch-22. We want to make sure that the building permit's going to be approved before we put the water and sewer service in. Because if we put the water and sewer service in and then for some reason the building permit's not approved, they become very angry with us for them having to pay for a water and sewer service to a lot that they can't put their building on.
Yeah, and I can certainly understand that. So if that's what you require, maybe, once you get approval for your building permit, then there's something triggers water and sewer that you're gonna build a house, you're gonna need water and sewer. So, I guess I'm looking at the resident that doesn't have a whole lot of experience in this, and there's consistently delays. So, maybe if you get your permit first, then it's automatically put over to water and sewer. Just that, if we can work together in something like this, then it would alleviate any delays with people. So,
No,
um,
I think that's a good idea. And then so what I can do is talk to planning about the process and to make sure that planning also advises them that as soon as your building permit is approved or even your foundation permit, and even before that, you're right, we really need to do lots of planning to make sure that the water and the sewer is going to be there for them. And planning will often send me preliminary plans, but I don't always get them. But it is something and hopefully with the modernization of the system, then there'll be an email or a notice triggering somebody within water and sewer to keep an eye on that. And really, we do need a modernization of our system. And Alex Forbes with planning, they've been working on that, and that system is in its development phase now.
that sounds great. As long as we're on the same page, that's terrific.
Councillor Tron.
Welcome, CAO Donna. Nice to see you here. Yes, you were.
My
Councillor Tron.
apologies. I was on another call and I had to get rid of somebody on the phone, but it's great to be here, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Donna.
Just under our last meeting, Richard, this was brought up about the audit, and I'm going back to the minutes. The water audit. It was suggested by Councillor Julie McCabe, discussions with sustainability to explore a potential joint initiative looking at energy and water audits. Did we follow up on that? Because
So
I made reference to Stratford. They provide a free water audit program, and you're saying our program is geared to income challenged families. So did we follow up to look at providing that service to all residents?
I think we're still working on that. I have Alistair has joined us for this meeting to help with that connection to sustainability, and he's our water person who works both for water and sewer and sustainability. So Alistair is here with today's meeting to make sure we can make that connection and keep moving forward with that.
So Alistair, Mr. Chair, Alistair, I just want to make sure that you know that over in Stratford, they have a water audit program, and it's free for all residents. And it's a great way to limit our water wastage, or being very conscientious about the water we use, how we can seal those leaks and so forth. So could you find out that maybe, and we could also look at what they're doing in Cornwall. They're probably doing the same thing over there. But Richard at the last meeting or a couple of meetings have stated that it's more geared to income rather than just giving it carte blanche to all residents of Charlottetown. I think if we're
Yes.
talking seriously about, reducing their water usage, that audit would help a lot of people.
Yes, so right now it currently is aimed at lower income residents. What I'm kind of waiting on right now is the efficiency PEI, who this program, as well as the winter warming program that they do, they're partnered together, and a qualified tradesperson goes out and does them both. But what they're looking at efficiency PEI is changing how they measure low income. They're looking at moving towards
Okay.
a different methods. So once I kind of learn what that is, I was hoping by this time I would kind of know what they are, but I think there's just been some delays on that. When I figure out what their new measure for low income is going to be, I can bring that back here. And if you're still interested in exploring opening that up to everyone, we can look more into that. It's certainly it might involve some changes to the program, but it's certainly a possibility we could explore. So hopefully by next month I can provide you that update on what their new measure for lower income is. I think they're going to like a market basket approach. So it'll be if there's more people within the home, it won't be as quite a static measure as it is now.
Okay. Alistair, just last question, Mr. Chair. Alistair, could you just do a comparative analysis? Could we just find out how many that income determined basis that Mr. Kuhn uses for the water, how many have actually taken up on it? And could we do a comparative analysis with what Stratford is doing with their audit program, where it's open to all residents? And if we could also see if look at the possibility, or what Cornwall is doing, the town of Cornwall. And if you don't have it next month, the month after is fine. But I'd just like to see how many people, how many residents, especially income challenged residents, are using the program compared to where it's wide open in Stratford, and I think maybe in Cornwall too. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I can give you like a quick update on that. In 2021, we had 58 audits done within Charlottetown under our program. And they were pretty like affordable for us. It's just $50 per audit. And I know in Stratford, they were having some with COVID. Obviously, we were having some challenges as well with people visiting the residents and kind of the precautions with the health measures. They were hoping. I think they had. This is kind of off the top of my head with just personal communications with the Stratford area watershed group. I think they had around 200 audits complete since they had received the funding that they had gotten through Environment and Climate Change Canada. They were hoping to have quite a lot more done, but just with COVID and public health measures, they haven't had as many. And so it's certainly like now that things are hopefully going to be remaining more open, I'm not quite sure how that'll change. And if we compare how many audits we're doing compared to how much they will be doing. And I guess you'll have to consider like our program's also been going for several years. So it's still have been people in the past that have already taken advantage of it. So, but I can take a closer look and try and get some more information for you on that.
Thank you,
I'm
Alistair.
not quite sure with Cornwall, I'd have to check.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that, Alistair. Okay, no more questions on anything there. I guess we're ready to move into a closed session if that's okay.
Moved.